Oh wow, so we are finally doing this video. Hi guys, how are you all doing? I hope you're in the best of health. I hope you're drinking water and minding your business. If you're new to the channel, my name is Enii Paul, and it's so very nice to meet you. I make content on student advice, medicine, lifestyle, and natural hair. In today's video, we're going to be talking about house job, my house job experience, tips to survive if you're going to be a house officer for some time, and some of the questions that I got, we're going to be answering them in this video. So if this is something that you would like to see or learn more about, please keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, if you don't know what house job is or what your housemanship year or your houseman year is, think of it as your internship year. So your houseman year is equivalent to what you become, maybe your FY1 year if you were, you know, a doctor in the United Kingdom. So it's basically a learning or a training program. Think of it as that intermediate or intermediary spot right after medical school where you can finally start to practice medicine under supervision. So in Nigeria, they give you a provisional license and then you start working and your seniors are responsible for you during your houseman year. Okay, so now the houseman year in Nigeria is a mandatory 1 year or a 12-month training period where they break it down into, you know, 3 months of each posting. You do 3 months of obstetrics and gynecology, medicine, surgery, and pediatrics. And that was how I did, you know, that was the exact manner I ran through my rotations. Okay, so for my experience with the obstetrics and gynecology department, I actually enjoyed myself, I'm not going to lie. It was I feel like that transition was one of the toughest ones I've made, in the sense that obstetrics and gynecology is quite a demanding department, and starting out with such, like, they just bamboozle you, like they come at you like boom 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 boom. Do you get? And first off, like, if you've followed, I put up a video earlier about my life updates and everything, but if you followed me during house job, I didn't particularly have a place. So I was like in between places. Then I used to joke and say I was homeless. So I mean, being in between places, oh my god. Obstetrics and gynecology was a very demanding posting, I'm not even going to lie, and being my first, it kind of set the pace for how the rest of my posting went, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So during my ONG rotation, I was kind of in between places, and sometimes I would even joke and say I was homeless, not because, you know, my facility wasn't providing accommodation, but there were some logistics that needed to be cleared, and I ended up not staying in the hospital provided accommodation. So for that period while I was homeless, imagine me reporting early, closing late, finding food, surviving. And that, coupled with the fact that I had to be present at work, like obstetrics and gynecology is not a department where you can just show up and not show all out. Like, if you've been there and done that, you kind of get what I mean. So it was difficult for me, to be honest. So one of the things that I liked with obstetrics and gynecology was the fact that everybody was there to kind of hold your hand and take you along the process. Like, someone was always double checking what you were doing to make sure that you weren't doing something wrong because I mean, everyone is on their toes in ONG. And I also liked the experience. I made a lot of sweet memories actually in my ONG posting, in the sense that when the babies are just coming out, when the expectant moms are like there, I actually really did enjoy my obstetrics and gynecology posting, I'm not going to lie. Then my next posting was medicine, and to be honest, that transition was very abrupt, because coming from ONG that everyone was on their toes, that we had very low mortality rates, everybody was finding out if we had a mortality, we were looking up reasons as to why this happened. You know, there was a lot of, how to say, like, you would be responsible, you'll be held responsible, even as a doctor under supervision, you'll be held responsible for whatever, you know, actions were put in your care, or whatever persons were put under you to like for you to watch over and that kind of thing. So, and in medicine, the mortality rates were just crazy. So I remember like I lost a patient in medicine that just threw me under the bus. Like, it's so sad that I would maybe have calls and somehow I could just tell, yo, this call is going to go way out of plan. Like, everything is going to pieces really quick. And I feel like one of the reasons why that happened is because in Nigeria, like, people don't really go for regular health checkups. You know, people are not, and I'm not saying people, I'm saying we, you know, we don't check. We believe that if everything is fine, then we're fine. Then, like, we just, there's a sense of doom that comes with you having regular hospital visits, even if those visits were just for checking up. And because of that, a lot of people do not go for those regular checks. So by the time they are presenting, they are in, some of them are like in the worst state possible. We first have to resuscitate, and then when they're stable, we now manage and watch them if they can maintain stability, and then we think of, oh, how can we, you know, move forward with their care? Can they be discharged home on medications? Will they even be compliant on these medications? That was like, medicine was oh my god, like, now that I think about it, like, medicine was a trying time. Like, medicine was a trying time. And if you've done medicine and you find out that you are working with different types of, you know, doctors, when you work, one of the things medicine taught me, to be honest, working in medicine, was, apart from like taking care of your health and doing the, you know, basic things, medicine also showed me the types of doctors that I would not like to be, you know, and the types of doctors that I would like to be, or the kind of doctor that I would like to be, you know. And I feel like because you get to see different people, different doctors, different nurses, different of all of your colleagues working in a department that demands from them, and you work with people that some of them don't care anymore, some of them are used to how it is, some of them already know. And this is actually sad, but like, being in medicine was and just being there, I was like, at some point I remember feeling so overwhelmed because I was waiting for my seniors to come and help me, and my seniors were also overwhelmed because there were like a lot of patients that they also had to take care of before they could get to me. So medicine was a place where you had to kind of figure it out, you know, if you get what I mean. And you had to learn quickly because your seniors were not going to be there every time, which, to be honest, that's not necessarily how it's meant to be. But I mean, that is what we're working with. We don't have enough manpower, so we might as well get it together and get it done. All right. Okay, so that medicine one was long. So my next posting was surgery, and in surgery, to be honest, I actually liked surgery apart from the chaotic nature of moving around from department to department. So we had about like 7 to 8 subdivisions of surgery at the facility where I trained. And imagine you spending maybe 3 weeks in ortho, 3 weeks in general surgery. So you're doing orthopedics, you're doing general surgery, you're doing burns and plastics, you're doing neurological surgery, you're doing cardiothoracic surgery, you're doing pediatric surgery, you're doing like urology. It's so honestly, it was, yeah. We ended up I think we added ear, nose and throat to all of that mix as well. So we actually had a lot of departments in surgery that you had to go through just for you to get a feel of what each department entailed. So I feel like with surgery, you won't really like maximize your learning. And I get the fact that you wanted everyone to have a feel of different departments, because in medicine you got to rotate to, you know, departments in medicine. I did nephro, so I did nephrology, and what else did I do? Oh my god. So I did nephrology and cardiology when I was in medicine, but in surgery you have to do all of them, all 7 of them. So I ended up going through the 7 postings in surgery. Another reason why I honestly didn't like surgery, I think surgery was also like the first place where I got punished in my whole houseman year, because I mean it was just I don't know, every time that I think about it now, I feel like there was a gap, like there was a miscommunication gap. Like I expected this from my seniors and I communicated my expectations, but I don't know, I don't want to say my communication was not clear or my seniors were, you know, just not having it at the time. But one thing led to another and I got slapped with a 48-hour call as a house officer. Now, other than that, did I really enjoy surgery? Yes. I worked with different, you know, doctors. I also, you know, got some hands-on experience. That's where most of my shots from theater and all of those things come from, because I mean, again, it is surgery. Just the beauty of scrubbing in, the beauty of getting in to help someone to get something out or get something in, or, you know, restore something that would normally work how it was supposed to work, is actually a beautiful thing to see. Okay, so surgery, I give it to surgery, but not entirely still. So my last posting was pediatrics. I did pediatrics for 3 months as well, and it was so funny how I didn't think I would like pediatrics, to be very honest with you. I went into pediatrics dreading it, because again, pediatric patients are very volatile patients. Like once you're dealing with patients of extremes of age, too old or too young, like they are very unpredictable. Almost anything can happen. Something as small as dehydration and electrolyte balance that can occur, electrolyte imbalance, that can occur from the dehydration can just send them boom and they're into shock. And I don't like, to be honest, I dreaded pediatrics. But when I got in and found out that, you know, there were telltale signs for like looking at children, once you stabilize their vitals, once you could pick up what was wrong, or once you could listen to their chest. Like children are children, like they will not lie to you, they will not tell you something that is not there. And even if they couldn't communicate, like they will be so restless that you can just tell that something is going on. So yes, pediatric, yes, I give it to pediatrics. I am so thankful for the facility where I trained, that we, you know, had that neonatal ICU care and we could provide it to some of the babies that we happened to come in contact with at the time. So now that all that is said and done, okay, I have some questions that I'm going to be going through. I got them from Instagram and from and from WhatsApp. So I'm going to take the Instagram ones first. Let's see. So someone asked, how was your first day like? And to be very honest, my first day was boom. Like my first day was slow, because my first day wasn't necessarily my first day working. So my first day, I was doing the documents, getting my ID, you know, getting logins and stuff for the electronic medical records. So it was more like, oh, this is your first day, you're welcome to this department, have you gotten this and this? Okay, you know where the offices are, you could, you know, go to the offices, sort yourself out, and then represent so we can finally work with you, that kind of thing. So my first day was actually slow, and then we now had a surgery on that first day as well. It was so funny. Someone says, how can I be like you, my big chief? It's so funny how the person who sent this is my senior, like by far, like far. Okay, another person says, on the scale of 1 to 10, rate your house job experience. And on the scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 7.5. I would have given it an 8 if a lot of things were smoother, in the sense that, I didn't have to deal with accommodation issues and then, find a place for myself and all of those things. But other than that, my house job experience was seamless. I didn't deal with too many bullies of seniors. Like, I didn't deal with a lot of bullying, to be honest. I didn't deal with a lot of, harassments. Some I've actually, heard from 1 or 2 persons who happen to be at other facilities about, some forms of harassment, maybe sexual harassment or things like that. I thankfully didn't have to deal with any of that as well. And I also like the fact that, there was priority placed on why I was there. There was priority placed on my learning. So at different points in times, different seniors would ask me questions during maybe my call hours, or teach me 1 or 2 things, or we had trainings from time to time, or seminars from time to time. So I actually really did enjoy my house job experience overall. There were just some lows that were annoying. So another question was, is it worth the struggle for the payment? And I always say this, right? And I think it sounds funny, but it's actually the truth. I always say house job pay, or house job salary, is blood money. And the reason why I'm saying that is, if you've done house job is a very demanding experience. It takes your time, your strength, your energy, your mental health if you're not careful. And you comparing that to a salary you receive and end up spending in maybe the first 14 days after you receive it, or the first 12 days after you receive it, and have to survive the remaining 14 days on vibes waiting for the next salary. That is if the salary even ends up coming, on time, if it's promptly paid, because sometimes we get delays, and once you get the delays from up above, before you get your money, it does take some time. So honestly, I would say the pay is okay, but it's not worth the pay. Some people have worse experience than I do, and we all get paid the same. So someone asked, how did you survive? And I'm going to answer this from different perspectives. So first off, I am a Christian, and if you live your life believing that there is no higher power, or that God does not exist, or things just happen, and how they happen are how they are meant to happen, you would get very injured. You will get injured. So I like to think that I survived by the help of God, because the fact that I ended up meeting good people, making good friends, building a strong support system, the fact that I ended up meeting seniors that were willing to put me through, teach me, the fact that I got into situations that I could literally have landed in trouble for something I did or something I did not do, and I had seniors there that were looking out for me. They quickly corrected me, and they covered all of my mistakes. The fact that I am even here, that I can even speak about it and not break down and cry and all of those things. I like to think that God gave me strength to just go through the year. And I'm not even joking. God gave me strength to go through the year. Okay, so another person says, you are doing well. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, my chief. Please, do you have any house job advice? To be honest, my house job advice is simple. Be humble, be ready to learn. Absorb. Think of yourself as a sponge, okay? So you're absorbing different things, but look out for what you're learning, because you'll pick up on traits of people that you work with, that you're in tandem with. You'll pick up a lot of things, their ethics, their values, their mannerisms. So just be absorbable. I said absorbable. Be a sponge. Be a literal sponge where you can take everything in. Then other than that, you need to ask a lot of questions. You need to remember that you have seniors. I remember there were times that I would want to try to do it by myself and I would miss a step. And I would have gone through the whole process, and then I would ask my seniors, oh, this, because I like to come with results. I like to have done all of the work. I like to have said, oh yeah, I've seen this person that done that and done this and written this down. And then they will ask me a simple question like, did you order for this investigation? I'm like, oh no, I didn't. So ask questions when you're in doubt, when you're confused. I had some times in Housejob that I would literally break down and cry, but you need to be able to get up from that. You need to be able to dust yourself up and remember that it is a temporary position. It is just for your learning. You will meet different types of seniors. You meet seniors that do not like students or medical doctors that trained abroad, like international medical graduates. You will meet seniors that will not like you because you're from a certain place, or you're a lady or you're a guy, or you look a certain type of way. You meet people that have different, how to say, speculations, but you have to keep on moving. Like, it is going to get tougher, and you have to rely on whatever you hold dear, because you need to draw strength from things. You need to draw strength from people around you, and you need to be resilient for the year. Okay, you need to be resilient for the year. This is the bulk of the advice that I have that I will give you. Just be resilient. Other things, be sensible, look presentable. You shouldn't be wearing some type of clothes that wouldn't let you do work. Anything that crosses your sleeves. Some places will require that you're wearing your lab coats. It's just, all of those things are, how to say, a lot more departmentally specific than an actual issue. And other than that, you will be fine. It is Housejob. It is a year. It is 1 year. It is 12 months of training, and then you are done and you're a medical officer, and you can literally stand on your own. Okay, so I hope this helped you. I hope my experience as a house officer, being an international medical graduate, working here in Nigeria, actually entertained you of some sort. I don't know, prepared you if you're going to be a house officer soon. Please let me know in the comments. I wish you peace and lots of love.